50 seconds for advertisement.
But yeah, starting out the video, even just the title, it does not suck anymore. You admitted that it didn't suck. Going into like, you show 5 volumes, so we have to assume by volume 5 it doesn't suck. So
even from then, it didn't suck.
Yeah. So what's the time frame of these videos?
Time frame. Not you, GB. Don't come over here.
No, but you called me.
I didn't.
Look at it's just screaming.
So this was done
almost 2 million views.
Almost 3 years ago.
And the
other
new
one. Yeah. Does not suck anymore was done
1 year later.
Yep. So almost 2 years ago. So within a year, which is really just 40 something chapters, it doesn't suck anymore.
No.
40
My
more
bad,
episodes.
Y'all. I know I influenced y'all to think that this show sucks, and you told all your friends that it sucked, and now they won't watch it. But it don't. It don't though.
Anymore.
It did, but it didn't.
I was right before. I was right. Like, it sucked.
I was right in the first 7 minutes of that video. Don't get me wrong. But now
I'm doubling the video length, and it no longer suck.
Warning! Hot take incoming. Careful, don't burn your...
It's not a hot take!
Absolutely
Black Clover! You know why it's a hot take? Because you influence people to go, it sucks!
You made it a hot take!
You helped make the take!
You're the one causing the problem here. You! Yes, you!
Now, it's a hot boy coming through. Just make sure you don't drop... Don't drop it! Black Clover is actually underrated. There,
Yes. Because you helped set the bar for what it should be rated. By going, Asta got punched in the head.
Yelling. Almost 2 million people. I thought that it was in like the lower millions. But that's a lot of views over time, dude. That's a lot of people being influenced by this. That's a lot of thumbs up. That's a lot of comments just going, yeah. You did this.
And today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 anime betrayal.
Just give me your words, I don't care! Almost 1 year ago now, Black Clover released to a post-Hero Arca Season 2 hyped anime community only to get absolutely destroyed by a fandom hungry for blood, collectively taking a dump on the 15-year-old boy who had the voice of 1,000 crying babies being put through a cheese grater, helped by some asshole YouTubers. And you know what? Rightly so. The beginning of this anime...
It was not rightly so.
No, absolutely not.
It was so disingenuous what you were doing. And the people that were just like him yelling a lot, okay. But what happens if it doesn't bother you that he's yelling? Okay, so what's the problem of the series now? Well, it's generic. Okay. I've seen a bunch of generic stuff, and generic does not equal bad. So what's the problem of the series? I got nothing left.
It's nothing.
You're not talking about why Asta's bad. You're not talking about why the Yuno's bad. You're not talking about why Noel's bad. You're not talking about why the Black Bulls are bad.
He the Black Bulls. He showed them like twice.
You're not talking about why the power system is bad. You're not talking about anything.
He just says tropes and goes, you know what I'm talking about, and moves on.
Was absolutely awful, but now,
no,
50 episodes later, nearly 200 chapters into the manga, with the anime confirming to be continuing past its original run, Black Clover still to this day has a horrible rep thanks to the atrocious start and scream memes that someone helped perpetuate. So today I thought I'd revisit Black Clover.
I'm very glad that he's taking accountability for this, because that was grimy.
Yeah, it was dirt. You done it dirt.
And at the very least, you could have just changed the thumbnail, because it's just screaming, and you go, okay, it's that screaming show like Pro did.
Yeah, that was his whole thing. It screams a lot. We gotta see it, because dude, they're screaming.
It's gonna be bad because of that.
Because honestly, being caught up to the manga and anime, I don't think it deserves all the flack it gets. So I'm going to do
it never did.
Not once. It gets rid of the tropey stuff out in so early, and then it just becomes really good. And you, this is. Don't double down on something like this. Be like, yeah, my bad. Looking back, it wasn't that bad in the beginning. But you doubling down on, yeah, it was bad in the beginning, but it got good. No, it wasn't. You've given no reason why it was bad.
Like it gets, so I'm going to do something I never thought I'd do a year ago. I'm going to defend Black Clover.
Okay, Paul, you take accountability. I understand this is a joke, but you take accountability, but then you do something like this. You can't do both.
You can't have it both ways.
You go, yeah, I caused the screaming thing, but here's the screaming thing. I'm going to defend it, but I'm also going to bring up the fact that he's screaming a lot, which was one of my main points before. But hear me out, though. But here's the screaming. Hear me out, though.
So let me get this right off the bat right now. Black Clover is not for everyone. I'm not here to convince you that Black Clover is a good series.
What is for everyone? Is there anything?
These hoes.
These hands.
They for the streets.
Yeah, but is there any piece of entertainment media that's for everyone?
Impossible.
So that's not even... There's not even a point to this.
Otherwise, there would be something out there that has sold 7 billion units.
Yes, and would have zero criticism.
To convince you that Black Clover is a good series for all of you, because it's really not. When I say it's underrated, I mean that I feel the amount of hate the series gets is undeserving simply due to its start, because I believe the show has...
Simply due to its start, and you!
And you, dude. And YouTubers that did the same things that you
People
did.
that saw your video, watched 2 episodes, and went, yeah, I can make a video that gets 1 million views as well. And thus perpetuating the cycle.
Black Clover was always good.
And even if it wasn't always good, it was always fine. With sprinklings of good.
Own space and appeal that a fair few of you may actually enjoy. And the series, especially the manga, has a lot of merits that anyone who dropped it after 2 eardrum-bursting episodes of Us the Screams would not be aware of. So in order to defend it, I'm probably gonna have to spoil a bit of it.
So, Black Clover was bad simply because of 2 episodes. The entire
beginning
holds no merit because 2 episodes of screaming. Are y'all serious?
Screaming.
Dude, come on! This is ridiculous!
This is childish. I'm not even gonna pay attention to the story or the characters or anything because this dude is screaming. I can't take it. Watch the dub. I can't take it. Read the manga. I can't take it. I'm out. And then I'm just gonna tell everybody that it's bad based off of 2 episodes in Gigguk.
Anime and manga spoilers incoming. I won't go into any major plot points and I'll try to keep it to the elements that I found interesting, and I think what I want to start with is the characters. One of the main...
If he starts talking about Yuno and Asta after slagging them off last time when the characters have always been there and the same...
But you were not invested and you were looking for things to complain about, so just when he got in there, like, moved on.
One of the main elements of any series we look to carry a show is the cast and characters, and when we look at Black Clover's characters, it's easy to dismiss them as a group of tropes and cliches because...
As you did!
You didn't even mention them last time! You didn't even say the name Noel last time! You said Sunday love interest, showed a picture of it, moved on. No Black Bulls, no Yami. No Yami, nothing! Dude!
Tropes and cliches because, well, they... kind of are. On the surface, most of the cast members don't get too much development save for the main few, but from...
On the surface!
Yes, on the surface.
But yeah, the only reason y'all don't like Black Clover is y'all looking at it at a surface level. You need to go a little deeper to realize the character development it gets, as opposed to you don't turn into the bad guy and saying, don't talk about Asta like that. He's my rival and the best person to become the Wizard King if I wasn't here.
Always been there.
Always been there. Episode 1 or 2.
Cast members don't get too much development save for the main few, but for me the actual strength of the characters don't come from the individual cast members but as an ensemble. The series has no problem just throwing a large group of new characters in your face at once, meaning that you won't get much of an impression beyond the initial look and quirk each individual has. But the characters and personalities are varied enough that it's just entertaining to watch the group dynamic work as a whole. After the arc where Asta fights bad CG Ice Knack, we are properly introduced to the world of the Magic Knights. The Magic Knights are split up into different divisions, with each division having a different personality and group philosophy led by a captain that embodies that philosophy. On top of this,
wow, you're really explaining what
Yes.
the series is actually about now, as opposed to saying him got hit in head.
Yes, and last video, you showed a picture of him and go, yeah, the very cast of characters get good. And that was all you said, but now you're explaining it? You didn't have enough time to go, hey, this is bad. Here's the bad things of Black Clover, and here's the good things, and let me explain both of them. You just went, cast of characters good. But you tried to explain the bad things about Black Clover, but you just glossed over the good things. But now you're explaining it because it got good, even though it was already good at the point that you were in the first video, because you showed these characters.
system, most members come from a noble family, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're in the same division, with each family having their own dynamic and having rivalries with other big families. And that's not even mentioning
How is this not tropey? How is this not generic?
No, it's not generic because he's not saying it is. And if it is, it's the good kind of generic or tropey. Or if it's doing it well.
The execution.
Yes, the execution.
The execution.
like Asta and Yuno. Add to this a ranking system
Pause.
that
Can we
rewards
go back just a little bit?
Yes, sir.
This says a lot about their characters. No, that shot
Too
right
far.
here. They gave the kids the blankets, and they don't have blankets. That says a lot about these two characters with this singular image. But no. Yelling. Hit on the head.
But no.
commoners like Asta and Yuno. Add to this a ranking system that rewards group and individual performances, and you have a recipe for some entertaining chemistry. What I liked is how the series spotlights the relationship between the cast members that hints at these characters having a
Always there.
Yes. 100%. This is like episode 20, 30? Something like this. This is mad early. But if you have to slog through those 2 episodes. But even after that, you got an entertaining fight with the giant crystal thing. There's a lot of good stuff in the beginning of Black Clover. But you poisoning the well, and these sheep just believe in it, or just on their own watching 2 episodes and just going, he's yelling a lot. This is tropey on their own without your video, and then just telling other people. It just perpetuates that this bad.
He poisoned the well, made them drink from it, and then go, why is everybody poisoned and throwing up? I don't understand it. The water's good.
cast members that hints at these characters
That
having a
Eric
long
Andre
history.
meme. Shoots are good.
Why is
Black Clover getting all this hate?
Why everybody hate Black Clover?
Having everything revolve around our main duo. Captain Poodlehead has a long-standing rivalry with Captain
Yeah,
Flame Dude.
we
Captain
don't
of the Blue Ro-
pause. Once Asta joins the Black Bulls, we get so little of Yuno. The next time we see him, he's like, oh, he's a pretty high-ranking member of the
Already.
Golden Dawn. He's doing big boy things. And then Asta's like, what am I doing? I'm languishing down here with these turds. Thus motivating him to work harder. There was this stuff already.
long-standing rivalry with Captain Flame Dude. Captain of the Blue Rose Squad, who has the reputation of being an Ice Queen man-hater, actually has a secret schoolgirl
Pause.
crush.
Oh, she's Tsundere.
Uh-oh.
She's Tsundere. That's not good.
Uh-oh. That
And
trope.
wait a second.
That generic. Uh-oh.
Wait a second. These characters have characters and interpersonal relationships? That means that it's good. No other show does this. Oh, wait. 100% of other shows do this. You're just saying these characters have relationships. That's nothing special. And also a tsundere, but for some reason it's good here.
queen man-hater actually has a secret schoolgirl crush on Yami. And, I mean, how can you blame her when you're growing up with this pure, perfect specimen of male masculinity? Please have my babies, Yami. Little things like this lend a sense of legitimacy because it feels like you're watching a huge dysfunctional group of friends hang out with each other. They banter, they take the
Dorothy!
Isn't that what happened with the Black Bulls?
Yes, 100%.
Isn't that like episode 4?
Mm-hmm. And it's surface level stuff because we barely see them all together again. And again, like you say, it's surface level stuff. So, it's to be praised now? What are you doing?
piss out of each other, but the real strength is seeing these relationships grow as the series goes on. You see the general respect for Asta.
Yeah, relationships are gonna grow as the series goes on, like every other shonen before it, but now it good, I guess because of the execution.
I guess. It's not tropey anymore, but the tropes that it's doing is fine.
But again, we've already had the relationship a way that we did not expect subversion with Yuno and Asta, where it's just like, no, I should be going, yes, Yuno, you're a piece of crap. Because they implanted that in your mind already when he went ridiculous or whatever.
When he didn't get his
Grimoire, yeah. When he didn't get his, and it's just like...
yeah, it's ridiculous that you wouldn't have one.
And everybody's just like, up, here we go. Right back to the generic stuff. No, it's ridiculous you wouldn't have one. I knew you would get one because you're my rival.
And you're one of the hardest working people here. And also, he's not mentioned that, yes, he has a generic anime sword that can apparently just negate magic, and that's generic for some reason. But he works hard with the sword. He trains himself in the mountains a lot.
The sword is actually stupid heavy. If it wasn't for Asta being strongish,
yes,
he would not be lifting that boy.
As opposed to Naruto just going, here's your freaking shadow clones, and now you're amazing. Now every fight revolves around that.
You see the general respect for Asta change as he proves himself. Captain Poodlehead asshole.
Yeah, it sounds like Naruto.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, but it's fine now, huh? All that generic stuff, we're just out the window now, huh? Because you like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you didn't like it, it was bad. But now that you do like it, it's good. This is what I mean by generic entropy is not a negative inherently. No. What are you doing?
What is his argument? Why is it good now?
This is ridiculous,
yes.
dude. I cannot believe
How can people listen to this? How does this have over 1 million views?
I can understand people listening to this one.
Yeah, this one. But even still, this one, it's a lot of bad arguments that there are relationships. The outcast of the outcast group, they start to like him. Yes, of course.
Deep admiration for his rival and even cares for him. Even though everyone serves a very obvious purpose, like even if that purpose is just to add a personality quirk to the group, the series knows this, and it knows the personality cliches that works in shonen, and it plays to it. Yami is straight up an ex-shonen protagonist who has already finished his series to grow up to become the mentor character. He's designed to be the cool badass.
You see,
so much.
Pause. You see how he's explaining so much here, as opposed to he got hit on the head. Why couldn't you do that before instead of just going, it's tropey? Why couldn't you do this?
I might have to bump the last one up to a 10.
Probably. Because it was here, and he just chose not to acknowledge it. Yami was always this.
The mentor character. He's designed to be the cool badass. So much so, he knows how the shonen tropes works because he's been through all this shit before and he's become self-aware of it, which just makes it entertaining. Like, if he's ever backed into a corner, he just nonchalantly goes, well, I guess it's time to surpass my limits somehow. No biggie, I've done this a million times before.
Great.
The final result is that the sum of the whole ensemble is greater than any of its individual parts. And this sentiment is
that's like all group things.
Yes. Well, yeah. I was about to say fairy tale, but then there's still a varied cast of characters who do things and stuff like that.
And it's better
it's
when
just
they're
bad.
It's bad. But it's better when they're together as opposed to, just looking at in Ice Dew off by itself and you're just like, I don't know, Gray.
Dude,
and
Gray by himself is so bad. Man, do they ever do great by himself?
Yeah.
Outside of like the third arc where he has his own little adventures and he goes off by himself, does he ever go off by himself again? He's terrible. And I hate Gray.
I didn't mean for this to be a gray bad.
Oh man, wait till we hit Fairy Tail.
Dude, that 3 Hour Boy is gonna be a monster.
If nothing else, that's gonna be fun. The Fairy Tail game is also very bad, but it's very fun.
It's generic.
It's very generic. Oh boy, it is. It is a JRPG.
But the battle system is stupid fun,
Yes, it
so
is.
you're enjoying it.
Yep. And I also love side quests and stuff. But
I'm not a fan.
yeah. Oh boy, I do not like that I paid $60 for that board. This feels like a 35 ball.
Yeah, I would have waited.
Feel is mirrored in other aspects of the series because another big talking point about Black Clover has been about its unoriginality. One of the biggest
From you!
Again, you help perpetuate.
Yes! Another one of your main points in the video!
thrown against the series initially was just how unoriginal everything was. Black Clover seemed to be a complete mishmash of different shonen tropes and cliches stapled together in an uninspired
Seems to
way.
be, you said it was!
You said it absolutely is.
And you gave examples as well!
You talked about the five-tailed devil fruit.
Dude, come on. This is childish. I didn't say that stuff. It seems like, dude.
It's just like in freaking movies where it's just like, I'm gonna create the war so I can sell weapons to people. And it's just like, I'm just selling the weapons. I don't know what the problem is. Like, dude, you created the problem. And now you're presenting the solution.
Together in an uninspired way. Asta seemed to be a melting pot of every shonen protagonist to ever exist.
You said this! Stop saying seems to be!
He seemed to be based off 2 episodes?
Dude!
Come on, how can you formulate an opinion on that? With 2 episodes! And now you're on episode 20, 30, and you're like, oh wait, no!
Couldn't have been more generic of rival.
You are lying! Because episode 1 he wasn't! You're just lying!
Oh my goodness. He's lying and he's bad at lying, and this is a bad point as well.
And Magic System was basically a combination of Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and Fairy Tail.
That's just a lie.
Please explain, because that's 4 different things with 4 wildly different power systems. Please explain what you mean. Give examples. You can't just say it's like this thing and then move on.
Even One Piece has vastly different power systems.
Within the world, Naruto has chakra, but it also has Kekkei Genkais, which nobody else can do.
It also has things like Taijutsu, which is just hand-to-hand karate combat. Look at these 5 characters of One Piece. They all fight differently.
What the
with different
fuck
power.
is he talking about? Man.
Premise that hardly had any unique selling points. So you may be wondering, what's changed about this? Well, surprisingly, not much. And
Nothing. It's always
been like that.
It's always been what it is, and it's always been you like it or you don't. You didn't like it, you wanted to go in expecting bad. You presented the best possible bad arguments you could, but they were so flimsy, and now you're just like, well, those are all shattered because I watched 12 more episodes.
has actually turned out to be one of its biggest strengths. Black Clover continues to...
This is just like My Hero then, right? With the execution, it's so tropey and generic, but that allows it to have its execution.
What changed? Oh, nothing changed. So what changed? If nothing changed, it was just more. You got more. For some reason, you kept going with it. And then you went, oh, I'm wrong. So wrong that I have to make an addendum to my previous video where I said this was trash.
To out to be one of its biggest strengths. Black Clover continues to take elements from so many other series, but once you realize that it just doesn't give a shit, you see that because of this, it can throw in all the best elements you've seen in other shows and just plays around with them together. This is as shonen as it gets.
He's not gonna explain. It doesn't give us, and it's as shonen can be. What do you mean?
Together. This is as shonen as it gets, and it doesn't try to be anything but that. You know it's a shonen, it knows it's a shonen, so it just gives you this no-nonsense approach by constantly drip-feeding you every element it knows you want to see in a shonen in a very compact space. Let's take the structure of the Magic Knights we just talked about, which is essentially just doing what Bleach did with the Gotei 13, which I don't really have a problem with because that was one of my favorite parts of the Soul Society arc. However, it takes this and adds even more variation in the personalities and powers of everyone, while also adding in a...
That sounds like every shonen ever.
Yes.
It's taking what happened before it and improving upon it.
Yes, that sounds like the Shishibukai. That sounds like all the Hokages. That sounds like the Akatsuki. That sounds like any group that has an interpersonal relationship. The Phantom Troop. That sounds like a group. That sounds like CP9. That sounds like a group of...
The Magic Console and Hunter x Hunter, whatever the Hunter Console, the 10, the Zodiacs or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same thing. But it's just improved on it because it has actual good characters within it. Or better characters, more varied characters.
But again, this is a trope, but now it's good because it's a trope.
So what happened?
What happened? Nothing happened. But he opened up his eyes and just going, okay, just because it's a trope doesn't mean it's bad. It's good. That's what happened. Because he just went, trope equals bad. Look at all these tropes.
System to add a sense of competitiveness and progression for weaker divisions. Now, how can we make this even more fun? Well, let's give a bit of time to develop the dynamics of each group, feed us hints so we can speculate power levels, then put every division in a massive tournament arc. You want to imagine?
All of that is Fairy Tail.
You are correct. And Fairy Tail is Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail is Fairy Tail. What's different?
Fairy Tail is the One Piece of not good.
Oh boy, it is. It is. And I cannot wait to hit them videos. Oh, I can't wait for you to see that final arc.
System here, we got all the magics. We got fire, ice, earth, wind, water magic. Oh, you want more? We got metal magic. We got poison magic. We got Spartior magic. We got summons. We got paint magic.
She's so good!
Army is one of the best characters. I love her so much.
Dude, her little child appearance, and then it's just like one panel of her looking like an adult, and she's so strong. And it's just like, fool! Where the fool?
And something that he's not touching on, Black Clover is very funny.
It's hilarious!
It is very, very funny.
And again, comedy is subjective.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Charmy is hilarious every time.
Gordon is amazing.
They're being invaded and it's just like, I smell delicious food. Yeah. And the chef is like, you recognize this, so I'm going to cook for you. Regardless of what's going on around us, you deserve to eat my food. Oh, yes, I do. You're f***ing up my meal. Get the away from me. It's so good. I love Black Clover, dude.
But yeah, all this stuff I could probably point to all these things in Naruto as well. But but Fairy Tail is the most direct. Even One Piece, people moving metal, earth, water, not water yet, but fire, ice.
Oh yeah,
Jinbei. Yeah, I was just thinking Devil Fruit. But yeah. All you're just talking about power systems that's been around for a very long time. We've had Spatial
with Kuma.
Yep. We've got 3 shows that do the exact same power systems with, and you're just naming stuff that is different outside of something like, I almost said Naruto, but no, that's different. What's something that's DBZ? DBZ is the only thing that's just like everything is the same, but here's a couple of outliers over here.
Magic, we got poison magic, we got Spartior magic, we got summons, we got paint magic, we got light magic, we got time magic, we got magic that transforms buildings into giant mecha suits. How do these all fit in a magic system? I don't fucking know. Who cares? You want to see them all together, right? Well, here you go. You may hear this and think, well,
it relates to their grimoire. Everybody has a grimoire, and that grimoire tells you what your magic is going to be. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's not really anything deeper than that. In Naruto, it's just like, well, you're wind because.
Yeah, why can't anybody else do fire jutsu?
Well, some people can and some people can't. But here's the Noel family, and they all got this very basic set of powers. Yeah, it makes sense.
And then it's even shown that your power can be added to if you do a certain thing, that the grimoire can be upgraded and such.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also like spatial spirits and things like that also adds to your powers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the explanation, not just who cares. You could have tried if you're trying to big this thing up.
Well, isn't this just the jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal? But I think a better way to describe it is that it is the master at being a jack of all trades. Black Clover knows you've already seen all this shit before, so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, it just keeps throwing you what your inner shonen trash wants to see and has fun with it. Individually, the elements presented in the series...
It's fun and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just...
It's not good because it's fun.
Yeah, no. You're just going, this is entertaining. It's good. Entertaining can be bad or good, like The Room or like Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is entertaining. It's such an easy read, but it's terrible. This is entertaining and good. And you're just going, well, it's just balls to the walls, does whatever it wants to do, shonen trash, and that's what it's trying to be. It's not trying to be anything else, and that's what it's doing, and that's what it's doing well.
Do anything special, but it's together that the series is able to carve its own identity. But there is one big difference between Black Clover and the shonen titles of old, and hell, even My Hero Academia, and that is the pacing. Admittedly, a lot of the things I talked about is very surface level and would be prone to getting old fast, and the way Black Clover counter...
No. I can enjoy something. I laugh every time Zoro and Sanji fight each other.
Zoro
I enjoy it every
hilarious.
Hilarious every time. I don't care how many times I see it. I've seen it for roughly 14 years, and every time I laugh.
Brooks' bone jokes are hilarious.
Regardless.
They're so stupid, but they're hilarious because he thinks they're funny, and nobody reacts.
Nobody's giving him nothing.
They're not even like, Brooks, shut up. It's always just a little panel by himself, yo, and nobody around him saying anything. Why is that? But yeah, no, things can get boring over and over and over again. Dragon Ball gets boring super fast.
Mm-hmm. Because the thing that it was good at, it divulges into only being that.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything but escalation.
By never fucking slowing down. While something like My Hero Academia favors concrete character building, Black Clover values constant progression and escalation, and it never ever takes a break.
Yes,
Even
it
arcs
does.
that...
It absolutely does. Even in that one of the best arcs, one of the best fights, that underground cave arc. Ooh,
I love that arc.
Oh my goodness, it was so good. They just stop a couple of times to go, hey, let's see what other characters are doing. And they're not fighting, they're just wandering around. Or they're getting ready to fight, or they're after their fight.
Or what about where Asta goes on a group date, and it's just like, we're just sitting here talking and enjoying each other's people and characters. Or what about when they actually meet the Magic Knights, and it's just like, oh, Noel, you piece of put your head down because you a piece of just leave. And Asta's like, don't talk to her like that.
What about when it's that festival where they're just like, okay, we're going to reveal the updated Magical Knights rankings, and everybody's just off doing their own thing?
What about the Noel arc where it's just like, we're all here with you, you can gain your powers or whatever, and they meet that new girl, and they're all just being friends and just be like, you got to do it like this, and blah, 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 blah. And it slows down so Noel gets a little bit more character growth.
Never slows down. Never stops. Foot on the pedal.
I need slow down.
There's a lot of stuff with the Black Bulls just goofing around in the house. There's a lot. We see Yami on the toilet at least 4 times. It's just a joke, but we see it so much.
seemingly starts off with an unimportant plot point, almost immediately ramps up to an incident that steps up in scale to the previous one. Logic would normally dictate that it's impossible to continually one-up itself each arc without burning out and digging itself into a corner, but I can say that caught up to the manga, that somehow hasn't happened yet, and we're coming off one of the most shocking events to happen.
What does he mean burning itself out and digging itself into a corner?
Dragon Ball.
No, but what does he mean?
It becomes so ridiculously powerful that it's no longer enjoyable. So when you're, in Dragon Ball, you've got all these 12,000s and blah, and they're doing techniques and stuff, and then all of a sudden, you've got Boo just destroying planets by sneezing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like, I don't want to see that anymore. So yeah, I think that's what he means.
But you think?
Yeah, I can only go by
what I infer, because he doesn't explain it.
Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, all shonen always progress.
Yeah,
this isn't anything inherently. It's just that Black Clover is so tight that you'll get freaking a 4-chapter arc of just here's 12 fights, and it's just okay, now we're done there.
In the series thus far. This includes the constant escalation in the power system, which goes against pretty much every rule I set in my power escalation video I did before, but it works.
Oh, we might need to check that one out.
Could you go back?
Yes, sir.
How did he like his own video?
That's my power escalation video I did before, but
okay, that's not him. It can't be, because he subscribed to him, so unless he got a secondary channel.
Okay. Okay, I guess, but even still.
Yeah, he has to have a secondary channel.
Okay.
And he has to have thumbed himself up.
But it works because in concept, Asta's ability of being able to negate magic is already the most overpowered ability in the series from the beginning. So no matter how ridiculous some of the spells become, it's about Asta finding a new way to use his magic cancelling abilities. Watching Black Clover is like eating a bag of ready salted Walker's crisps. That's potato chip if you're American. Ready salted isn't exactly everyone's favorite flavor, but everyone can appreciate ready salted crisps unless you're allergic to salt or something. And if that's the case, what are you doing in the anime community? But once you open a packet, you don't just eat one crisp, you have to at least finish the whole packet, and a single episode or chapter is like eating a single crisp, making the series so easy to marathon. The highs of the series are definitely less than its
you can say that about a lot of stuff. It's easy to watch.
Yeah.
Dude,
even things I don't really like, I find
yes.
easy to watch. Like Gotham, the first season or two of Gotham, where I was just breezing through that.
That's nothing to celebrate this about.
You can marathon a show.
Yes,
quick-ish.
you can marathon anything. What are you talking about? Now there's certain things like I could not get into dancing the Franks or something. Dancing in the Franks.
What do you mean?
I mean, what is that show called?
Dancing in the Franks?
Yeah, it's
Dancing the Vampire Bond?
No, that's not it.
Dancing in the Franks. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I'm sure you've seen the chick.
More than likely.
Is it? Darling in the Franks.
Nope, still never heard of
her.
Her. Oh, I have seen her, yes.
Yeah. That was one of those things where they opened up the gate and just went, here are all these terms, here are all these ideas and politics and this and this and this. Episode 1, I was just like, this is too much, and I backed out. I can understand something like that. But with something like this, it's just, here's the power system, here's how it's used, here's somebody that can counter it, blah, blah, blah. It's not too much like politics, or here's how it's 2055 and here's how the world has changed and space travel and blah, blah,
Samurai.
blah.
It's a marathon. The highs of the series are definitely less than its competition, but the highs come...
Disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree.
And he's not giving any examples, he's just saying this. And I'm sick of this.
So often
that underground cave arc was...
It's top 5 arc and top 5 fight. Legit. I love it so much. It's amazing. Just the teamwork. of them just going, here's a bum with strings, and here's a bum with teleporting, and here's a bum with no magic, but with an awesome sword. How are we going to defeat this overwhelmingly powerful dude? And they do. And it's fantastic because we know their powers. We know what they can and can't do. Nobody pulls something out just like, here comes this double teleportation. No, we know what they can do. Boom, boom, boom. And they do it. I love both the arc and that fight so much.
The highs of the series are definitely less than its competition, but the highs come so often that you just keep going because it feels like there's rarely a point where it's appropriate to stop. But of course, all this is pointless if I can't stand the main character, right? Surely there could be nothing to redeem this annoying twerp that makes my ears bleed whenever he opens his mouth, right? Well, aside from the fact that he does scream less as the series is going on, and if it bothers you that much, you could always watch the dub, there was one moment that actually sold me on Asta.
The problem, so here's the real problem I have with the way Gigguk is doing this. In order to hate the series, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. You could have watched the dub and you wouldn't have hated the series. You could have read the manga and you wouldn't have hated the series.
You wouldn't have hated that pacing.
But you wanted to hate the series, so you picked the worst possible version to hate it the most.
Yes, absolutely. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
His character, but the anime is just about to reach this point, so spoiler warning for anime only peeps. So to set the scene, we've just finished Asta's biggest fight of the series thus far, and he's badly damaged his arms, to the point where he's broken almost every bone in them. Yeah, okay, shut up, okay? But the caveat is
he broke his bones in both of his arms. No other show has done this.
Ever.
Dude, because something happened, we must automatically compare it to something else that happened. Do you think your audience would have been rolling its eyes like, yeah, broke his arms, we know.
My hero. My hero.
Shut up, okay? But the caveat is that they are also cursed to the point where the curse cannot be removed, leaving him a cripple. I said shut up, okay? His teammates who find out about this are distraught for him. Just when it seems like everything is going well, it sinks in that the boy with no magic power cannot even swing his sword anymore. The one thing he can do to get by in this world. And even though he was acting cheerful to them just a moment ago, as they try to find him, there's one question on everyone's mind. How is he feeling? We see Asta sitting alone, the normally loud, cheerful boy, contemplating everything he's just been told in complete silence. And for the first time since the series started, we see just a glimmer of weakness and hesitation.
No, we see that so much.
We saw it at the very beginning where he's like, maybe I'm not worth it because I couldn't get a Grimoire or anything. Maybe I just suck. Right before Yuno gets and done up, he's like, Asta is.
But we're not talking about that.
No, we've already seen
that's
the
in
weakness.
The first couple of episodes, and those bad, all bad, no matter what.
Of weakness and hesitation. The thought possibly crossing his mind that this time there is no coming back from this, and maybe it is time to give up. Before.
So who's giving up? Messing with me again, huh?
He's so good.
He's like, I'm not gonna let this friggin' no arm stop me. Whatever.
I'll make it work somehow. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be the Wizard King.
That's just like Jolene, that where it rocketed up her to one of my favorite characters of all time, where she was locked in the jail, and that piss-covered bread and ropes-covered bread and dirty water. She's like, you don't think this gonna make me weak? And she just starts eating and drinking like, I need all my strength.
I need all nutrients.
Yeah.
Fate? I'm actually all fired up now, so take that! I will find a way to heal these arms. You can take that to the bank, or I'll find some other kind of strength besides my arms and use that to fight all the way to the end.
That's really good. But this right here, this is like
That one
episode 50. He was already good.
Way before that.
49 episodes previous. Because we saw that he's such a hard worker, even though he's a bum. Even though he has no magic, he's like, I'm still gonna become the Wizard King.
That one time was the very last time I'm ever gonna get depressed.
Yeah. With Yuno. In the first couple episodes.
We're not talking about that, though. It didn't happen.
Asta rejects what he's been told, and in the most shonen fashion possible, tells himself loudly whatever happens, he'll find a way to get over this hurdle. This little moment changed so much of the way I think of Asta's character. The reason for his shouting, the reason for his obnoxious
Oh, you now know the reason for it? So it good now, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's just good
You
now.
just didn't get the time to... Because you know what? We don't know why Naruto is like that until we get his past several episodes down the line.
It's good now, though. It's good.
So you just didn't give it time to explain itself. You just went, oh my god, it all
It's
bad.
bad. Look at him yelling.
Him scream, oh my
no,
god.
bad. Trope, bad.
attitude, his seemingly overconfidence, isn't because he's just an annoying, loud little brat. He was born in a world where he was doomed to fail and has constantly been told
Yeah,
that,
that's tropey.
so he worked.
tropey.
He worked as hard as he could his entire life.
Why didn't you mention this the previous video?
We mentioned that.
But he didn't.
How did we understand that and you didn't? My guy. You
My
do this.
dude.
You do this for a living.
And you just completely swept this under the rug as bad. For no reason. With no kind of analysis other than trope. And people drank this up.
And they ate and they drank. And it was good.
Entire life to prove everyone wrong, even if deep inside he's scared that they're right. Him shouting this.
Yes!
That happened episode 1.
And he got super depressed and down on himself. Episode 1. But you were too busy screaming about yelling and the Ed Lord rival to understand and appreciate this.
Shows that he's not just shouting for people to listen to him. He's shouting as much so he.
No, that was something you implanted based
Yes!
on Naruto. Because you were looking at it, oh, this is like Naruto, so is this why he's...
the reason.
No. You didn't look at the series as its own thing. All you did was look at it in the frame of...
Shounen.
Yeah, a bunch of other shonen that came before it. Oh, this part is like Bleach. Oh, this is like Naruto. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Instead of just looking at it like, oh, this is Black Clover. You didn't give it its
trying
chance.
to do instead of what is it trying to do in the shonen lens?
Listens to himself. He plays the character he wishes to be, says the words he wants to hear, because anything is better than sinking back into a state
That's
where
episode 1 depression.
Sinking back into? Didn't you just say this was the first time he did this?
Dude. El Dudo.
into a state where he gives in to what everyone's been telling him. And that was something I was not expecting when I first started watching this show.
No, why would you? All you saw was the trope.
Yeah. Why is Asta like this? Because he got hit in the head. That was your reasoning in the first video. No deeper analysis. No trying to figure it out. A joke.
We all wish it was this easy to get over our biggest hurdles in life, but this is Shounen. This is the reason we watch a show like this, and in these few short panels, Black Clover had turned Asta from a loud, annoying cliche to someone with an admirable attitude.
He's always had an admirable attitude when he's like, don't talk to Noelle like that. Who are you to talk to her like that?
You magical royalty? He's like, oh, you hoity-toity piece of crap. You don't know how hard she works. She's standing up to these people that could kill him. Yeah, he's got a magical sword and everything, but if they gang up on him, he's beheaded.
Keeps his ideals. Wait, wrong show. And that's kind of where I stand with Black Clover. My main complaints right now aren't with most of the problems that the series started with, but it's more with...
What, screaming?
Tropiness, which is okay now? Or no, the screaming, which is okay now as well.
Yeah, because he just screamed that to the heavens. There was a reason for, and now contextually, I understand why he screamed before. Terrible.
Adaptation itself. The beginning of the anime takes away one of the biggest strengths of the manga, its pacing, and it doesn't really start to pick up until about episode 17, which in modern anime is a death sentence.
No, it's not.
Absolutely not. I've rewatched Death Note like 5 times. It's such a breezy thing. I watched all of Fairy Tail.
You watched all of Death Note or up until L?
Oh no, I watched all of Death Note up until L. That's because that's where it is, right?
There's nothing after that.
Yeah, no, it's just like, okay, and then, but no, I watched all of Fairy Tail and Bleach in the space of like 5 months. I watched and read all of Ippo in the space of like 3 or 4 months. 17 episodes is nothing, especially nowadays. with the cough.
But more than that now, it's the animation inconsistency. As later episodes fix the pacing issue, the consistency in the animation varies greatly, with some of the best and worst animated episodes literally coming out back to back. When it's good, it's fucking fantastic, but when it's bad, it really takes away to some of the impact.
Yeah, see, this is when I talk about animation. Stuff like that will take me out of it. But Asha swinging that sword, it's not going to make me go, wow, this is incredible. But stuff like that jerkiness is going to make me go, oh, that ain't good.
But even still, I watch it because this is like one in every 20, 30 episodes. Really nothing.
Had. The adaptation is going down the route of continually releasing an episode every week rather than the modern approach of releasing a season every year, which not only allows the manga to get ahead, but also allows for a better production schedule to produce more focused and concise episodes. Simply put, the Black Clover...
Where is part 6?
It's part 6. Give me. And keep Hermes the same. Because she needs to be. That's her voice. Her voice is fantastic. It's so fitting. There's nobody else that could do it.
Give me part 6.
They changed a bunch of them from the game to the anime. She needs to stay the same. They kept Okuyasu the same because he needed to stay the same.
Is that why?
Yes. Who else could you think of me doing that?
I don't know.
Exactly. You couldn't.
Anime is the 2003 Shounen anime adaptation in 2018. And that's why if you do want to experience Black Clover, unless you are very adverse to reading, my recommendation would be to read the manga and rewatch some of the best fights in the anime. Because really, if Black Clover was released in that time period...
Do what you want, because not everybody cares about animation.
Not everybody cares about pacing like that.
Not everybody likes to read the manga. What if you don't like to read the manga, but you still want to experience it? Gigguk said read the manga, but the yelling, but the
and
pacing.
Gigguk also said that, I really hated Black Clover in the beginning, but I found myself watching the next episode, just clicking it. So is it a death sentence that is 17 episodes before it gets really, really good? Or is there something that's compelling there that's going to make somebody click the next episode? Gigguk, what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
I honestly believe it would have stood up with the big three. It's a series...
Bleach, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have pushed Bleach out of, especially after the Rescue Rukia arc, where it's just like, yeah, it's still pretty good, y'all. We're getting there. Oh, here comes these new villains. They're kind of lame, but it's coming back. Chill.
Yeah. When people still had that hope.
Yeah, once it started going down, like mid Waco movie, they go, okay, yeah, get that out of here, push this in.
That takes so much inspiration from the shonens of those times, but even today I still think it has its own charm. It is a series made for shonen trash fuckboys like me and doesn't give a shit about pleasing anyone else. If you're not a shonen fan, this series is not going to change your mind, but the reason I wanted to make this video isn't to say that everyone should go out and watch or read Black Clover now. It's because we memed the fuck out of it at the beginning because it was so fucking memeable. But I think it's done enough to prove that it has its own merits, and if you're shonen trash like me, especially if you grew up with the early 2000s shonens of the big three and have a free weekend, you will absolutely blast through this. It's a ridiculously marathonable series that, despite its god-awful start and premise, serves you...
Not god-awful start. What god-awful premise?
He did not explain the premise. Has he explained the premise?
Nope. Not in the slightest.
Outside of
maybe he did. Yeah, I think Maki did.
Outside of Maki, I don't think he said the word Wizard King.
Approach of pure battle shonen goodness without any of the filling. It is still the problem child of shonen that doesn't shine as brightly as its peers, but you know what? I can't help but enjoy its straightforward, direct demeanor that gives me everything my inner shonen trash wants. So you can keep on screaming as loud as you want, Black Clover. I will still eat it all up.
The double -10. I'm revisiting that first score.
Because contextually, you can't do anything but.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Double
I'm with you.
-10.
Double -10.
That's terrible. It's terrible that you would do this, dude. It's terrible that you would both pedal and double down.
That's exactly what happened. He went, yeah, I was wrong, but I'm also super right.
But I was also the most correct.
a back pedal and a double down. I was wrong. But was I really, though?
The answer is no.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
No.
Y'all saw why I was right, and I'm still right. But I'm also right here in saying that I was wrong.
It seems that Asta is like these other protagonists.
I'm double right.
Yeah. I said it before and I was correct. And now I'm correct again.
Double
right.
Double -10.
Double -10.
I do. I was so close to giving it a -10, but like you said, the substance. But now, with the context of the last one and this one together, you can't do anything but go, wow, you were just so trash on that first one, and now you're just like, well, now I'm making an actual video on it instead of this meme bullshit.
Everything that was bad before, the tropiness, the scream, and all that crap, is good now. For what reason? Well, it's always been like that. You said these words, but now it's just good. So yeah. Man, I am sick of these -10 videos.
I mean,
and we're just gonna get some more next time because we're going back to part 5.
We are going back to part 5.
We don't know what we're doing exactly, but we're going back to part 5. It's been too long.
It's been way too long. Dude, what was the last one we did? The Perfection of Giorno Giovanna?
Perfection, yep. That was
it. And that was like episode 17?
Everything just seems weird before the Seavit video. It's just like post and pre. It's just...
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga where it's
just
like, yeah, we're dual monsters now. Before...
setting people on fire and stabbing hands and all that. Well, no. But we're here now. We're stabbing the moon.
So, yep, that's what we're doing. I guess that's it.
I hope I can't go back to Gigguk. This dude infuriates me.
That was terrible. Yes, but is it a good infuriating or a bad one?
Absolutely not.
Because Nux is a good infuriating.
Yeah,
he infuriates my soul.
Yes.
I love it. Oceanus is the same way. I love Oceanus.
Yes, he's a bum. I was skimming through his Bakugo hindered by expectations or some crap like that, and it's a good video. It's in the list because it's a good video.
Which means it's a bad video.
Which means it's a bad video, but we know what we getting.
Yeah.
This was just a lot. It's not funny.
It's not funny. Okay, so we used to do a bad movie day where we would sit down when we both had a day off. This was like years ago. And we would sit down when we both had a day off or we weren't going to school, and we would just pick 3 movies and go, we're going to watch this, we're going to make fun of it, and that's going to be our whole day. We had to remove comedies because we weren't having fun with the comedies because a bad joke just leaves you so, it just makes you cringe.
You can't talk about a bad joke. You talk about bad acting, bad special effects, bad like storytelling, bad horror, bad action. Like, oh, here's this dude jumping out of a plane and he's doing triple backflips and he lands on. Yeah, you can talk about stupid stuff like that, but when a joke just farts, you just go, that wasn't funny, and this is just, the energy just goes so down.
Yeah, it's just instantly just like, dude, we were dreading every comedy. Yeah. We were like, breeze. Oh,
it's hard to make a joke about a failed joke.
Yeah, impossible almost. So, and that's what this is. It's just like joke. But the first one. It's only the first one. The second one, he was mostly just doing analysis. Yeah. And if more of his videos were like this video, I could see us going back to it. But if most of his videos are like that first piece of crap, I'm not doing it again. Because it was just like mean, joke. And we're just sitting here
it's like barely any substance. And the substance that is there is tropey. What do you mean by that?
He screams a lot. Okay?
Moving on. But there are some good characters. Moving on. Not explaining. Double -10.
Yep. And it shall remain.
Part 5. Yeah, boy.
Part 5. Next time.